Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 185 of Trials and Trebuchets. I'm your Dungeon Master, Luke, and joining me are my players who are playing, I'm gonna get ahead of this one, level 10 students. Introduce the students, please.
Wait, we're supposed to level
up?
You leveled up. I didn't do it. Can I do that now?
I am the leveled up level 9 gnome wizard Windsor Wallaby, played by Ben.
Level 10.
Level 10, actually.
Level
Never mind.
10,
I can't do
get it
math.
right. Hi, I'm Carla, and I play the level 10 Tiefling Roguelike Integrity Idleberry. And my name...
What's the split? What's the split? What's the
split?
tiefling, or what's the warlock to rogue split?
Level 7 rogue, level 3 warlock. And my
Okay,
name
thank
is
you.
Integrity Idleberry, and you warlocked me. Prepare to die.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I play Miramar Sean, the level 10 half-elf bard.
Whoa.
We gotta get back to Wildcliff. We gotta get back to school. We gotta get back to Wildcliff. 'Cause we just saved ourselves from ghouls. Back to classes and hatches and magical spheres. To poems and golems and facing our fears. Our winter is done and we're finally here at Wildcliff. Wildcliff, I'm glad we're going back.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Now that we're off the moon again, I can say, hi, my name is Sam, and I play the level 10 human sorcerer Sayonartis Syndrome. And because we are off the moon once again, I will not sing. I will just say, it's good to be back.
We're off the moon once again, so you're saying we've been there before?
No, I'm saying if we ever do have to go back, I have to start singing again.
And
Dun, 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 dun.
last time, was that you about to start singing, Ben?
No.
He pulls out a
The
banjo.
people crave it. The people crave your singing.
This
quite
is our
frankly.
musical episode.
No, it's not. We need $5,000.
Not until we hit the patron goal at patreon.com/trials and trebs. Then we'll make a musical episode.
We'll stop singing. And last time on Trials and Trebuchets, the students on the moon learnt of the deep plane, the fading and stolen magic of Meafide, and the true natures of Mira's serpentine arm.
Serpentine?
Serpentine arm, among other things. Afterwards, they prayed to the goddess and were sent back to the material plane where they were born and where they are from, also known as Ib, and found themselves on campus standing around the sunken hatch. With a week until the start of their second year at Wildcliff School of the Arcane, how will our students spend their time? So, I think I'll ask you all. Do you want to pick up, like, in a couple hours after we last saw you, or the next morning? What's more fun for you guys?
Let's give ourselves a whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of,
let's-
Yeah.
Okay.
Plop our ass on our bed.
I'm tired of my frigging friends. I need a break from them.
Love you too.
We've all been in a maze for like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, proper bed to finally sleep on after like 2 weeks of stone ground. Yes.
Oh, and moss.
So, if that's the case, if all of you wanted to, by chance, attempt, if that's the implication of what you think I meant, which is that you got to return to your dormitories,
Damn.
I will quickly tell you a synopsis of what has happens in that case then. I'm literally already overheating and my brain's not working.
Oh no.
I feel this.
If, after you returned to campus, you were to attempt to go to your dormitories, you would find the entryway doors locked to get into the actual residence buildings themselves.
I guess that kind of makes sense. The
Yes.
schools,
They do that at universities. It's true.
Yeah, the schools are
Mhm.
the schools
No
are closed
entry.
right now. So
Yeah, you're on campus. There's large piles of snow everywhere. The pathways are very unkempt and generally untaken care of. And it's like desolate, like nobody. You do not see a soul around. And so, that being said, what do we do in this case? You don't have your beds to sleep in, I'm afraid.
okay. I guess that means we'll have to find another place to sit down and relax. Maybe the dining hall doors are unlocked. We can like sit down at least there.
We can just crash into someone's place. Do you guys know
Please don't.
where we can sleep? I'm so sleepy.
Oh my god, I know, right?
We could always make an igloo.
I don't.
Camp
I
out
don't
here
think it's
for a
snowy
week.
enough for that.
There's deep snowbanks nearby. They're unkempt. It seems as though an entire season has passed without the maintenance of the campus, Mira. And you, appraisingly, can look over and think to yourself, maybe there is enough snow to make a little snow
You know
fort.
what? You know what? Let's not rule that out. Let's not rule that out.
I guess we could try using the Hall of Voyages. Like, we know a couple of places at least. Maybe we can try popping over to somebody and being like, "Hey, mind if we hang out for a while? Maybe, I don't know."
You think the way to the Hall of Voyages would be unlocked?
Oh, you're right.
Well, you've broken in there before, Winslow.
I have. Maybe we should go check that out. I am pretty good at breaking and entering.
So, in that case, the four of you can make your way to the Hall of Voyages, this large gothic, almost this hall. It might have been something else in another life, but in the current stage, it is just a room full of teleportation circles, stone and such, with an office in the basement. But the doorway is locked. Oh no, what a shocker.
Oh no.
You walk up to it, it shakes loudly as if there is a weak, piddly little shitty lock locking it shut. What do you want to do to it?
I look over at my two crime-inclined friends.
Yeah.
Integrity Idleberry, Winslow Wallaby.
Integrity's looking around, looking around, like pretending that Mira is not trying to imply
Trying
that.
to just stare directly at her. Integrity, as you look around this campus, you notice that it becomes populated with a certain type of thing, which is to say that all of the surrounding buildings, a dead tree, or not a dead tree, but a tree without any leaves on it nearby, and the general like eaves of even the Hall of Voyages, you see become crowded, incredibly, with little black birds, crows, and ravens, all squawking and looking down at you with excitement.
I'm going to wave
Nonetheless.
at them.
You wave at them and they all squawk loudly. It rings through the campus. What do you want to do to this shitty little door lock, though, please?
We don't even need to really fiddle with the lock, per se.
Please don't break the lock.
Just break the door.
Guys, we just got back.
So Windsor's gonna take out his spellbook. And he's
course.
gonna flip around, like frantically
Of course.
looking, just glancing over the pages as he's like speed running his book. Stops on one spot and like puts his face right up against it, deeply analyzing what he found. All right, everybody. I haven't done this before. I'm gonna try it. Everybody, stand back.
Oh,
I like this.
Okay.
I have
the
fear.
Three of you can take a big step backwards. Winslow Wallaby,
Okay.
what would you like to do, my gnomish friend?
So this door, does it have? You can't see through this door, can you? In any way? There's no windows.
No, it's a wooden door.
It's a wooden door. Okay. So I'm gonna step to the side of the door, so I'll be looking like sort of diagonally at the wall.
Okay, absolutely.
I'm going to take out from my component pouch after shuffling around a few sesame seeds.
Okay, absolutely. Plucked lovingly from a bagel, maybe.
A bagel.
Yes, a leftover bagel that I threw in there. And I'm going to cast the spell
know.
Pass Wall.
Oh, excellent. Can you tell me, Binzer, what does that do?
So, a passage appears at a point of your choice that you can see on a wooden, plaster, or stone surface, such as a wall, a ceiling, or a floor within range and lasts for the duration, which is 1 hour. You choose the opening's dimensions up to 5 feet wide, 8 feet tall, and 20 feet deep. The passage creates no instability in the structure surrounding it. When the opening disappears, any creatures or objects still in the passage created by the spell are safely ejected to an unoccupied space nearest to the surface which you cast the spell on. Essentially, we are just going to make a passage hole past the door through the wall.
I can't believe we finally have.
What does this passage look like, Windsor? What physical effect does this spell take?
So I imagine it's like, you know, the illusory wall, like an illusory wall, sort of how it just sort of like fades into nothing, just unceremoniously. That's kind of what it looks like. So Windsor's just like standing there, and a section of the wall just vanishes
fades away into nothingness. You all see this. Winsler seems to have disappeared a section of the door. Beyond it, you see many circular teleportation platforms. They're going to many places in the entire world.
Windsor's like moving his hand in the passage just to make sure it's safe and like inches in, and then Wow, it worked. All right, we can go in.
Hey, nice.
I can't believe we finally have a way to get through those pesky doors from now on. I walk through.
No kidding.
Now,
Truly revolutionary.
so, the four of you enter the Hall of Voyages. What a wonderful place. It's dark and cold in here, like a dungeon. There's many teleportation circles around that go to many different places. Is there something... Tell me. I can just ask you. Where would you like to go?
There's only so many people that we know collectively that we also know how to get to their place. So who's not mad at us right now, I guess is the main question.
That is always a tough thing.
Because, I mean, I don't know how Delness would react to us.
Yeah, I don't think that we should just pop into her place a week early. I would like to see her, but I think that would go over badly.
Yeah,
We could go to Artis's.
Is Artis mad at us right now?
Definitely not.
I think
No.
no.
Oh my gosh!
Last time we were with him, we revived him.
Yes, but I mean, like, the craziness with the trial and everything. He should still actually be there.
Yeah, it'd be kind of nice to
Like, I
get to
thought-
say a proper goodbye to him before he heads out into the desert.
I thought you said when he was mad at us, like you were speaking sort of generally, like is he mad at us in general for like all the shit that we put him through?
I just meant, like,
I mean-
okay, listen, hear me out. So much stuff has happened recently that I can't keep track of who's mad at me right now. So that was like a general question of like, if I go there, what's gonna happen?
Well, I'm not mad at you.
I'm not mad at you either.
Me neither. Yeah, I'm also not mad at you.
Are you mad at yourself, Sayonartis?
Think.
That's a deep question I'm not
Jesus.
prepared to answer right now, I'm gonna be honest.
So, the four of you can walk up a set of stairs, walk over to a teleportation platform. It is smaller than the rest. There's a weird goblin statue in front of it going like, and you can step on it, and using the power of narrative, where I know none of you remember the password to Artis.
It's Fidan.
It's Fidan.
Okay, you do remember the password. I didn't expect this.
It's the one thing
You
he
think I don't
has.
fucking take notes?
I don't know, Sarah.
I just remember that.
Maybe not
That's
of
all I got.
unimportant shit.
I would feel like a
Yeah,
password
gee,
into
what
our
else could
mentor's
Artis's
house
password
is
be?
rather important.
Could it be the name of his dead wife? No way.
Jeez.
I don't
think
know.
it's his favorite type of cheese.
I think that the name of Artis's dead wife is a bit of a deep cut, you know?
True.
Nonetheless, the four of you students, with your wounds and everything still from the corruption on the moon, step onto a teleportation pad. You speak Artisans' house.
House.
Hippo?
House, cottage,
House Fidan?
House. My brain is
bungalow.
And speak the password aloud, which is Fidan.
No.
And then
we
you
need to
all-
say it together.
Okay, then do it.
Fidan.
Okay, Integrity holds out 1, 2, 3. The rest of you sit there staring at her, and then she says the word Fidan excitedly, as if the rest of you will also do it at the same time in some sort of coordinated
Just
bit.
staring at her.
Oh, Fidan.
We don't all have to say it at the same time.
Sorry, I
Again,
wasn't
you
paying
all-
attention.
So I didn't realize we were. Do you want to? Can we do that one again, Integrity? I didn't know you were gonna.
Okay, sorry.
The goblin statue
Okay.
returns to being inert, waiting for
Okay.
your bit to complete.
Okay, let
Ready?
me try it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Fidan.
Fidan.
You say
Hey,
it not
nice.
perfectly in sync, but enough. And the goblin statue goes, I guess that's the end of it. And then you guys all teleport to Artis Artesian's cottage. You find yourselves in a frigid little stand of trees off to the side of his house. It's probably like negative 15 degrees Celsius out here, even though there's only 7 days left in the winter. And the sky is a bit darker, as if it is later in the day. You hear the wind whipping around, and you just generally see a small cottage in the woods. You can all walk over to maybe the front door, perchance, would be a polite place to go.
Yeah.
And
Or we could jump the fence.
Does he have a fence?
I don't say
he
that. I don't
does,
say that
absolutely does not have a fence, but you can make one and jump it if you'd like. That could
we
be
will
this
we will
episode.
spend the day making a
That-
fence and then jumping over said fence.
Winsler, you can use fabricate on the wood and make a
That would
fence.
take
Sarah,
too
you
long.
can easily jump over
We'll
it.
just
Ignore-
jump through his window.
I'm gonna go knock on the front door. I've made a horrible mistake saying that word. I'm gonna go knock on the front door.
Okay. Okay, I know that it might be weird that this is coming from me, Integrity Idleberry, but I think we should really just go through his door. Like, we should knock
You say as I'm knocking on the
gently
door.
Yes.
and say,
Fair-
hey,
fair enough.
artists, we're here.
You knock at the door. You hear a muffled, "Who's there?" from inside. And then light footsteps approaching the front door.
We should
And
scare
then
him.
it's...
I'm gonna
And
hide
then
in the
you
bushes in
hear-
front of his house.
I'm gonna like hide against the wall underneath this window so he won't
Okay.
even look.
Okay, I'm not doing it. I'm
Okay.
just gonna stand in front of the door.
Mira, do you want to hide?
No.
Okay. Integrity and Winsler, please give me stealth checks, obviously.
The heat is fucking with us so much right now.
Yup. This episode went off the rails.
Very
as
quickly.
soon as I finished. the
How's a
intro.
9 do you?
Oh, we'll see.
14 plus 11, 25.
Oh my god.
Integrity jumps in the bushes. You all see her vanish into nothingness. Her cloak almost matching the dumb color of the
Oh god.
Dumb collar.
I'm melting. These episodes are gonna be fucking foolish.
The amount of
The door.
bloopers.
Mira, Sayonartis, you
Mhm.
both stand tired in front of the door like normal people.
Thank you.
Artist Artesian cracks the door open slightly and peeks out the way that one might at weird people knocking at a door in the middle of the woods, and he's just generally worried as to who it might be. And then as soon as his eyes meet, glance at you, Sayonartis and Mira, he'll swing the door open widely and will just look at you both with shock and say, "Oh," at just like taking in your general appearances,
As
which
he's-
again, to reiterate,
Mm.
is still beat to absolute shit
Yes.
from the moon fight.
It's true.
I'm going to gesture to where I saw both of Winsler and Integrity jumped off, and I'm going to say,
well,
just
yes.
pretend to be surprised when they jump out.
Winsler, you are standing right next to the door and are not hidden whatsoever. Your big, wide, floppy-brimmed hat like overhangs in front of the door, regardless of your hiding attempts. And so he'll take all the three of you in, and then he'll look at you, not seeing Integrity, and will say, Why are you here? What happened? Why weren't you supposed to be in Troil? What happened?
Yes,
why
we
are you
were.
back so soon? Or not soon, but the semester hasn't even started yet.
Don't freak out, but we went to the moon.
We did go to Troil first, and then we went to the moon. And
All
now
right,
we're
the three
back.
of you come inside. The three of you, please come inside. We'll make some tea. We'll talk over everything. Integrity, do you want to jump out and scare this man?
No.
What?
Because here's the reason.
Uh-huh.
Because I heard what Sayonartis said, I'm going to just like go through a window and scare them later when they walk in.
By already being in the house.
Okay.
God.
So from
So-
our perspective, you are still in the bush.
Yes.
You, Sayonartis, right before, like, you walk, Mira, Winsler, you easily walk through the door into Artis's house. Sayonartis, you look for a second down at the shrub, and you see the exact little mound at the bottom that you thought to be Integrity, but no, now that you look a second time, it is not Integrity. It's just some thicket of bush, of bare wooden bush, and you think to yourself,
shit.
where could she have gone?
Guys,
And-
Integrity's missing.
and Integrity, from your perspective, you sneak quietly, touching the snow, feet falling into it, but not making a single crunching sound. You sneak over to the side window and can hoist yourself up to it. It's unlocked because Artist doesn't have a concept of locking doors, and you open it and sneak in quietly, and then you see all of them standing there with their backs to you at the front door. Integrity screeches and scares or attempts to startle all of you. Artist, at the very least, is easily startled and
course.
jumps slightly. He's wearing like a burgundy house coat over his like black normal weird man clothes that are like almost threadbare. He looks quite cold. He also has a pair of matching burgundy slippers on.
Aw.
But other than that, he looks quite cold, and he jumps. Sayonartis, you can walk in. He closes the door behind you, and will go off to begin brewing a pot of tea. As Integrity, you can close the window behind you. You all can see inside this house. It was already a very sparsely decorated home, his cottage, but now there are a bunch of like wooden crates shoved into one of the corners beneath the loft. You see many of the decorations that were on the walls, which almost were little relics and artifacts from like archaeological expeditions. Those are no longer there. You see like some half-opened crates that have some of these things parceled up inside of them, almost like he's putting them in storage or something. You're uncertain. But he will be making you all tea, and he'll say, "So, you went to the moon. Please, you need to elaborate a lot more than that."
That's fair.
because
That is fair.
It's a very alarming thing to say, to just show up very injured on my doorstep when I did not expect you, and to say that you've been to the moon. So, please, tell me the story.
We've been in a maze for 2 weeks on the moon. That's a little more specific.
What happened to your internship?
We kind of got, so there was a big catacomb in the middle of Troil, and our tattoos came to life and started attacking people. So we tried to chase them down the catacomb, also because somebody died and I brought him back to life, and he's a giant, so we had to go down into the catacomb to see, like, what his purpose was in life. So I followed him down to the catacomb, and my friends went after the tattoo, and then we ended up together, and then we ended up on, like, a little tour of all the godly planes, and then that somehow teleported us to the moon, where we got stuck in a maze for 2 weeks.
And you're like this because you got injured in the maze.
Okay,
No.
so when we reach the top of the maze, our giant friend has started the next cycle of giants. And then we were told to pray to the goddess Seisul for protection because there was a corruption in the room that would get us back home, and so we had to fight the corruption first.
The corruption's
so
little bits of the progenitor.
We
He
won.
looks terrified when you say that, Mira, and he says, "What do you mean, little pieces of the progenitor?"
So the corruption is a part of the progenitor, and the progenitor initially wanted me to bring parts of them back to him, but then we killed it.
Integrity's back was also bleeding black blood, but I don't know if it was actually her blood.
Oh,
We-
you saw that?
It was
Yeah,
very
that
hard not to
was-
see that.
I mean, we destroyed the corruption, and because of that, we were able to pray to Seisul again and come back, and then we were in the hatch, and all the buildings on campus are closed.
It's winter
So we
break.
didn't-
And of course the... Sorry.
It's okay.
I lost my composure.
I understand it's a lot of information all at once from your students who usually cause trouble.
You want to hear the best gossip, artists?
Oh my gosh.
He was mouth open, about to speak, and will close his mouth, fold his hands together, and look at you, Integrity, and go, "Sure, why not? What's the best gossip, Integrity, Idleberry?"
Okay, so while we were on the moon, we saw that there was an old Ib, and there's new Ib, and the new Ib around that are 7 planes, which you already know about because I know that you're not dumb. But basically, there's an old Ib that no one knows exists, and a replica of it that is where we live right now.
Yeah, we all live in the fake Ib, apparently. Because magic used to be different, and there used to be, like, druidic magic, and then magic got stolen from Seisul, who is also, you remember Meafide and all this stuff? Yeah, same person, same goddess, and so now we're all in a fake Ib somehow, and it's different.
I'm not 100% sure if we were on the real Ib before this. I doubt it.
No, I think we've always been on the fake Ib. Remember that thing about how we went to the afterlife and there were no deaths in the prime material
So
plane?
you
for-
learned all of this by going into a catacomb for giants and then being transported to the moon, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Basically.
about sums it up.
I think this is less impactful to all that. I am now, I'm not getting married. We can talk about
Yeah,
that
how
later.
much
You look like
word-
you're going very pale, actually.
How much word went out about that?
What do you mean you're not getting married? You were engaged to... Oh, my
She's
lord.
excommunicated.
Oh.
Yeah, when I explained to the prince that
Artis sits down in his
yeah.
kitchen, in his little kitchenette. He leans against one of his cupboards. He left the kettle just on the counter. He's abandoned the prospect of brewing a nice cup of tea and relaxing, and is now just looking at you all, his long face in complete shock. and he will say, excommunicated from nobility?
I think from the entire capital and the royal family, because
So banished then, or exiled?
well, I think they were. I'm gonna be real. I think they were gonna probably either imprison me or execute me. But I got help from Grandpa, and I spent some time with Integrity. But I also wanted to get that out of the way because every time I go to a new place, I want you to have that information to let me know if you need me to head out.
Great. Well, you're not in the Ashuan Kingdom right now, nor will you be during your time at school. So I'm sure the council won't get rid of you. I'm sure you'll be safe there. I'm sure, mostly. This is quite a bit. I've been having a very relaxing winter break. I
That's
visited
great!
my in-laws for the first time in years, and so now on the almost the evenings, I'm 6 days away from leaving.
Mhm.
And now you're telling me all of these revelatory piece of information you learned from the moon, and so now I'm just finding that I'm at a lack for words as to what to say. First and foremost, are you all okay
Yes.
from this?
For the moment, yeah.
Physically, you're not dying, right?
Not anymore.
No, I
No,
Perfect.
have some bruises, but that's about it.
I almost died twice,
great.
but
That was the closest anyone got, though, and she's fine.
Do you want me
also
to finish making your tea for you?
I would love it if you could make the team.
all right, I'll go do that.
Spectacular. Perfect. There, you just yep, absolutely. And Winsler, you can go and grab the tea. We can cut away now as you all just like kind of have the conversation with Artis about everything that went down here. You can unpack these things.
Help calm him down.
And reassure him, yeah. Actually, as a group, could you roll persuasion to see how well you can calm Artis Artesian
I
down?
do
that's
pretty
not
well
gonna go
persuasion,
well.
so that should be fine. I would hope.
14 plus 13, because I now have expertise in persuasion from my new level, so that's
Oh my
27.
gosh.
Jesus.
So I got an 18 plus 8, so that is 26.
I got an
Okay.
8.
Oh, shit.
2 plus
Total?
2 plus 6. I rolled a 2.
Oh my god, I was about to say you're
Yeah,
also
you saying
persuasive.
you're gonna die twice, like...
I got a 13, 12 plus 1.
Okay. Amazing, guys. So
Thanks for pulling your weight, everybody.
that's crazy enough, more than enough to calm Artis down. Winslow, you can make the tea, and you can all spend the evening kind of filling in all of the details of what happened, calming him down, and so forth. He will lay out some bedrolls for you guys in the loft upstairs, or rather up ladder, so that you can all sleep here. And he will, very early in the night, much earlier than would be regular, probably around like 9 p.m., will crawl into his own bed and begin to sleep quietly and very filled with stress. How do the rest of you guys sleep for the night? Just dead to the world? Or do you have a hard time?
I think that I'm so tired from getting up so early. This is the first time I've been in a real bed in 2 weeks. I am physically exhausted from the fight. I think I'm just fucking zonked
Yeah,
out.
Windsor's out like a light.
Same. I think this is the
Okay.
first safest place that she's been in a while, so
Yeah.
zonked.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, injuries from the fight and everything like that, I think it makes it a bit difficult for Sayonartis, just because, everything, with her, the nosebleed and everything like that, and all that fun, psychic damage. I think she is kind of back and forth, maybe wakes up every couple hours and then falls back asleep again.
Okay. You all can rest. Sayonartis, throughout the night, you are very fixated on a big crack in the roof that looks like it was only recently patched up with some tar. But you're very the moments you are awake and just having trouble resting, it just is something that you're brain can focus on above you. But the rest of you zonk the fuck out, get a full night's rest. It's so nice and cozy. For the first time, it's not sleeping on stones. It's sleeping on a nice cushioned bedroll in the loft space of your mentor. What a wonderful place to be.
So
You awake in the mornings. 3 of you awake in the mornings very peacefully to the smell of cooked breakfast meats. It smells like some cured meat of a sort, and just the general smell of almost burning bread, but not quite burnt bread, toasts, coming from downstairs where it seems Artis is trying to do his best to cook food for you all. That is to say, Mira Marchand, Winslow Wallaby, and Serenop Cinderman, you can awake to that. The other of you, Integrity, Idleberry, your awakening in the morning is not quite as peaceful. It's not immediately when you fall asleep, but it feels almost like something that you are immediately waking up from. You know this kind of thing where you wake up from a nightmare and it feels like it took up your entire night, even though you know realistically it didn't. You have a very wonderful nightmare of it's in
Great
the
episode
hatch.
title. A very wonderful nightmare.
a wonderful nightmare.
You are in the sunken hatch, as you know and love. The hatch itself has all the 4 orbs in their wonderful little slots. There's a rift of like opalescent energy, it seems, floating above it. And then you also see the progenitor standing in this room, not in the room you normally see him standing in, like the one with undulating ground and inky blackness out at all ends. You see him very firmly in this material place that you have been with your own 2 feet, standing there holding up a crystalline cube that is filled with like a dark magic. And you see there's just people all around this room dressed in like very beautiful silks and robes that are just crumpling to the ground and passing away. You hear and feel very much Integrity. You feel like the pain of all those people in this room. And then, wonderfully enough, you wake up very nice and rested with horrible imagery in your mind to the smell of breakfast foods. Is there any immediate action you take? You're very sweaty, I should say.
I think I'm just like gonna go down with my friends.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, this will definitely just affect like how I enter.
Okay, wonderful. You can all climb down the ladder in that case, gather around a small table and sit on the ground and eat your breakfast with Artis. He will be somewhat calmed after last night. You guys did a good job of doing such things. And before we get into anything else, he's going to take a big sip of his glass of water.
Oh,
My immersion.
are you gonna keep the water sounds in there?
Oh, let me get closer to the microphone then.
Oh, Yexum, what are you doing here?
Oh, did you really have to say that?
We haven't seen
You
Yexum in a long time. I miss the guy.
No, we haven't.
Probably
You're
dead by now.
dead now, Sarah.
Yeah, I believe that.
He turned into ash in his office.
Yeah, you went to catch all the Pokemon.
Oh my gosh.
Terrible. Artis will put down his glass, clonking it heavily on the table, almost like in a way to like clear the same way someone would clear their throat to just get people's attention. He clonks this glass down. For a second, you're kind of worried it's gonna smash in his hand and kill him, but it doesn't. And he will say, "I mentioned last night that I was going on my voyage. At the end of this, like the day before, I think you all returned to classes, and it does now pain me slightly to leave when you've just had such an experience as you did, but best laid plans and such
No,
things.
no. You should go.
I will. Don't worry,
Good.
I'm still going.
Don't feel bad.
I wanted to, just for safety's sake, walk you through what my plans are and the general expectations. Okay?
All right, I'll take notes.
Perfect. And he will take a notebook of his out and kind of just like splay it out on the table for you all. Specifically, it is a 2-page spread of a large map of the interior of Agia.
Ooh, okay.
With like the mountain ranges and a bunch of little tiny settlements that aren't really usually marked. Most of the maps that you guys have interacted with in your lives are typically, traditionally, of Eastern Agia, like especially the coast where most everything is.
Yeah.
And so, like, east of the mountains mostly. But this is of like west of the mountains and into the desert and such things. There's a lot of settlements and like landmarks here that aren't marked on a lot of maps. It seems as though he has compiled a handmade map from many different sources.
Okay.
And on it, there's just a couple of marked lines demonstrating where he's going to go, and he'll trace his hand and he'll tell you all. So, at the end of the week, I'm planning on taking a couple of bags with me. I'm going to be leaving from the Hall of Voyages and going directly to the Bridge Fort, okay? I have a charter there. I'm not getting a guide just for the sake of money. I want to be able to prolong the expedition for as long as I possibly can, and I don't know. Hiring someone else just to be 2% safer doesn't seem like a good use of that limited funding. Nonetheless, I'll be leaving from the Bridge Fort. I've chartered a sloth or two, and then I'll be heading to the Dragonborn village, the Flaxeye village of, and then he points at it, and all of you can look at the map, and it is a small town that is marked PBL TXBP, and he pauses for a second, and he'll go, that village. It's nearby one of the Shioran ruins that Fidan had marked on her. I don't know if you've ever been in her office. The expedition globe in there.
No.
So I'll be. Yeah, he'll look at you. Integrity, Idleberry. Make a deception check,
I
please.
think we all just kind of glance at Integrity for a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deception.
Yeah.
6.
He'll.
Oh dear.
He takes up. He almost carries on going with the map and such, and he'll look up at you slowly, Integrity, and go, did you go in there without my permission? Because judging from your tone, it very much sounds like you did. Did the rest of you know about this?
No.
They
Yeah,
don't.
make a deception check.
I don't.
Make a deception check with advantage.
I don't remember.
as Integrity-
When was
First roll's
that?
a 6 plus something, second roll's a 7 plus something, 7 plus 9, 16.
Okay, he believes you, Mira, that the rest of you did not know, and he'll like lean back in his chair and say,
Let me explain myself. It was that time when you were turned into a pebble, and we were all
Okay.
so sad, and I don't know. I thought that you were a goner, and I just took a peek, and I saw the globe, but I didn't really touch anything. I just
okay.
took a look.
Well, I'm gone. Please don't go in there.
I promise
okay?
I won't.
Great. I understand why you were looking for me and all the hopelessness feeling, but please, just you shouldn't break into people's offices.
I
Just,
agree.
You know. Oh, I'm glad. Nonetheless, that'll be the first Shioran ruin. I plan to spend most of the spring there, and then I'll be traveling further south. There's a Thrykeen colony of named Pitchtop Waterbottom, which is a bit southeast of the other Shioran ruin that I'm hopeful there might be signs of. And I plan to stay there until about mid-summer, at which point I'll return to the Bridge Fort and kind of reevaluate things, take a small break. I might return back here at that point before carrying on and just making a quick assessment of the expedition, maybe do some further readings. But at any point during the spring, I'll probably be in the northern section of the desert around the Flaxeye land, and then again, in the summer, I'll be further south. So if you ever need to find me or reach out to me or contact me, I do have the sending stone that you, Mira, have the complement to. So you can reach me daily there. But by chance, if that gets broken or lost or some such thing falls out of my pocket, though that's where I will generally be. Okay?
All right,
Okay.
I've made notes on that.
Okay, wonderful.
And if anything goes wrong, don't hesitate to use the stone. I know we're
Of course.
doing school stuff, but if you're in trouble, let us know.
And if by small chance, you do happen to find a tidbit, a little pearl, a fragment of something to go on, of some place to go that might prove fruitful for either Shioran ruins or just the anything, don't hesitate to send that to me as well. Okay.
You know,
Mhm.
artists, maybe like, I don't know if this is something that you've looked into. I was just like thinking about it. But Giants seem to be very good at keeping track of information. So Shior and stuff might be sort of closely related to that. Just in case like no one has really looked into it and like sort of connected things.
Okay. I don't have any books on giant things. I don't particularly read giant, so I suppose I could look at those in the archives in the next few days.
Their goddess is Meafide, so it might be more useful than you think.
The one that Nesca worshipped. That snake?
Seychul and Meafide are the same person. That's what we found out when we went to the moon.
So then it might very much be worthwhile looking into.
I think she talked to me today when we were leaving. So that happened, I guess. It was something like when I was praying, I heard a voice, and so, if she might still be out there, if that helps you at all.
That might. Thank you very much. That's a good lead. Things like that, if you find anything else like that. I'm sure your year without me will be, or the half year, hopefully, without me will be plain and boring and nothing.
Yeah. Are we going to get a new mentor, or are we just going to be mentorless?
They were vague about it to me. To my understanding, you'll be under the supervision of someone else.
Like one of the other mentors who's already like Dessa or something.
That is my understanding. Yes, I'm certain if it'll be one of the other first year mentors, or that's my assumption. They don't have that much on their plates as is, so.
I hope it's Todd Gonzalez.
I hope they're not super strict.
I almost guarantee that they will be at least twice as strict as anything I have ever been with you, which is to say just a normal amount of strict. So please do not make trouble for them while I'm gone, okay? That's the greatest thing you could do for me.
We'll try.
I guess we'll give it a shot.
Okay, wonderful. In that case, I'm going to... I have things to pack up that I'm sending. I found buyers for almost all the artifacts that I've had stored over the past too long. So I've got to send those out and then pack my things. I'll go to the archives, pick up some books. You're all free to do whatever. There's not really anything of incredible value. There's a few things in the shed left, but not anything that I fear for my life that you would ever engage with, if that makes sense. So my home is your home while I am here, and then you can head back to campus when I'm gone. So.
While we're here, is there anything I can do to help around the place?
There's like I said, I still need to finish packing things up into crates and getting sent out. And there's a few things left in the shed to be cleared out. But other than that, there's nothing really to be maintenanced. It's been kind of... He looks around the house with a bunch of, still broken stuff from the summer, really. And he'll say, I haven't really taken the time to fix the house up very much in a long time. But I won't be living here, so I don't think that's really necessary to do right now.
Well, we have 6 days. We're happy to help out, even if it's just getting stuff packed.
Well, help me pack, and then please take some moments for yourselves to relax. You said that you were in a labyrinth for 2 weeks, so use this time.
We had moss water.
That doesn't sound better, though. Use this time to relax before your semester starts, because if I remember my second year, it was exponentially harder than my first. So, rest is... You should never overlook it.
That's not very reassuring. But I hope I did well on my test. I believe I did well.
I think we'll be okay.
I haven't thought about that in a while. Wow.
Yeah.
School stuff.
I assume for the 4 of you, your second year will be at the very most socially interesting, just because of the result at the Autumn's End dueling tournament.
Yeah, we did win the whole thing.
You did, yes. Did you, by chance, this isn't prodding for anything, I'm just curious, did you spend your money on anything?
Oh yeah, I bought some diamonds for, the deaths of my friends.
I don't think I spent mine on anything.
I know I spent a little bit on when I went to Integrity's place to get some, appropriate clothing and stuff.
He's just kind of stuck after what Mira said and is just passively listening to the rest of you. And he'll nod his head a couple of times and stand up. He's not wearing his house coat or slippers anymore. He's wearing appropriate to go out threadbare clothing now. And he will walk to his door, shaking his head a bit, and will say, "Oh, very well. Well, feel free to pack things up while I'm gone. I'll be right back. I am going to the archives right now. I will see you later." And with that, Artis Artesian leaves the scene. He leaves the house, walks out through his front door, the portal connected straight to the concourse at Wildcliff School of the Arcane, and leaves the rest of you all alone, at least for right now. So, is there anything you want to do immediately that doesn't pertain to the other fun things that we have in store? Is there generally, do you want to poke around his little fucking tchotchkes that he has in crates?
I wanna-
Yeah.
Let's investigate the shed. I want to see
Yes.
if he's
Yeah,
what he's
I
left
kinda-
behind in the shed.
Okay.
You
know,
know what
other
he's
than
left
what-
behind
yeah.
in the shed.
I know what other than the obvious thing in there.
Other than the sad thing, we're all gonna.
Other
we're all
than
gonna
the
see.
figment of depression that he just leaves in the corner.
The figment of depression, the actual physical embodiment of depression. Sure.
I like that you said what was left behind because I'm also pretty sure that's the name of the episode where Winsler saw the crib.
Yes,
That's
it
fucking
is.
funny.
Yeah.
So the four of you can scoot out through the back door. You open it as little as you possibly can. As soon as you do, you immediately notice in the snow-covered trees all around Artis's home, there is hundreds, maybe 1,000 little black birds sitting in the trees, making
my
a little
God.
chorus of "I," and they're just hanging out here in the slightly warm air.
Did they
probably
all
make it a
fly
5.
here? Did they go through the portal?
Integrity, they all have their eyes on you. And the four of you can hop off that deck or use the stairs if you want to be civilized about it and walk on over to the shed. Winsler, you peel that it's like a almost broken door. It slides and it's like one of the wheels is really bad on it and like drags against the floor as you drag it out of the way. And inside you see the shed, which last time you looked inside of it was like filled to the brim with junk,
Chock full.
is now almost empty. There's like a single bookshelf at the back and then like a couple of walking sticks hung up on the wall. The bookshelf does have like a couple of assorted books left on it in case you guys want to check any of those things out.
Check the books.
Wonderful, wonderful, Winsler Wallaby. Let me just flip to
This
the
is
proper
food for the
page.
people who really like hearing about books and stuff.
Absolutely. There's there's a couple volumes about generally the flora of northern Agia, such rare plants and such great things to read. You crack open a page, Winsler. There's the most beautiful line drawings you ever did see, but absolutely no color, so it's kind of fucking useless.
Kind of
frankly.
boring.
Yes. You snap that one shut, and then you look, and Winsler Wallaby, there's a little blue-covered book that does catch your eye. It's almost like a leather-bound book, the leather dyed blue, and there is sparkles all over the spine of it. And
How
do
pretty.
you speak Undercommon?
No.
Okay, so you see some weird etchings on the spine of this that almost look like common, but using a couple of extra characters and words which you do not recognize.
Some letters are flipped upside
it's
down.
It's like some letters are flipped upside down.
Well, the
and there's,
L's and the O's are upside down.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks. But Winsler, would you like to pull that book out of the shelf?
Sure.
Wonderful. You do so. You see on the cover, it's more sparkly, and there's also a lot of little constellations and lines and such things. And there's a little buckle with a, not like a lock as in it's locked and you can't open it, but a lock to keep it from like opening in like your bag. It's very easily undone, like a little push button. And so you can click that and open to the front page, where it's written in like 3 different languages: Undercommon, Celestial, and just regular Common,
Okay.
which I think you do speak. It says...
Yes.
Thank you for the compliment. And all of you can crowd over Winsler's tiny little shoulders as you see him crack open this spell book. And it reads, Artatelio's Atlas of Many Worlds.
my
for the
God, what a
perusal of
title.
any planar-bound beings or those engaged with mass. Winsler, the table of contents has quite a few things. And again, you do immediately ascertain that this is a spell book.
Okay.
This spell book has 6 spells contained within it, as
6.
well as a really nifty little diagram of how the astral plane and ethereal plane interact, which is to just say the ethereal plane is a mirror of the material plane, and the astral plane is just like the space outside. My
Okay.
brain melted. But besides that, there are 6 spells listed here.
Jesus.
Some of them you might have heard of, and some of them you might not have heard of, Winsler. I don't know how familiar you are with them.
Okay.
There is Magnify Gravity.
Magnify gravity.
There is Dimension Door.
Dimension door.
There is Gravity Fissure.
Gravity fissure?
Yes. There's Plane Shift. There
Okay,
is
plane shift I'm familiar with.
There is Reverse Gravity.
Ah, I'm familiar with that one too.
And then there is Gate.
Okay. Gate.
And Winsler, give me an Arcana check as you look at this. Or all of you actually can make an Arcana check as you look over Winsler's shoulder at this to like ascertain your familiarity with these spells.
13 plus 4. 17.
23.
Non-natural 20.
Oh shit.
22.
All right. So even Mira, who is a bit like, it takes a bit more of your gears turning to like put all the pieces together, but some of these at least are passingly familiar in the sense of they are, to your understanding, incredibly powerful spells that if they were kept in Wildcliff, a book like this would definitely be kept in the restricted section, the restricted archives, or even in the reliquary. This seems to be a very powerful little tome you've found, Winslow Wallaby.
Interesting.
Would you like to stuff it in your bag?
I will stuff it in my bag for later.
Okay, very well. Do the rest of you just want to poke around the rest of the shed, or is there anything more particular you'd like to do?
You're talking about some walking sticks? That sounds kind of interesting.
Absolutely, there's walking sticks. One of them has a little like deer head carved into the handle, and the other one is completely made of wicker. You ascertain that these are not magical items, but they are very, very nice walking sticks.
I'm gonna take the wicker one. I don't know. I just like
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. But beyond...
So there's the walking sticks, there's the books.
That's truly...
That's basically it.
Truly it. You look around for any incriminating furniture or like little bits and bobs about Artis and his life.
Little boxes of knickknacks, nothing like that.
Yeah, you genuinely, it looks like this man has sold most of his worldly possessions or put them in crates to be sold.
Good for him.
Hey
They
guys,
did not spark a joy.
why do you think was Artis asking us if we've spent our money from like the money that we won?
I think he might have just been curious if we actually did anything with our winnings.
Maybe he has some stuff that he wants to see if we'd like to purchase.
That's
Like-
Maybe.
That's true.
He seems like he's gotten rid of most of his stuff.
There's still some things around here, at least. I mean, we did find some stuff, and I found this thing. I hold up the walking stick,
The wicker cane, yeah.
the wicker cane. Like,
Maybe we could ask him.
yeah, see if there's any extra things he hasn't been able to sell off yet
Yeah.
that he thinks that we might like.
Maybe he just wants us to enjoy our lives just because I'm not really getting the sense that a lot of the stuff that he has got a lot of use.
That makes a lot of sense.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, Miri, you look around and just see, even though there's stuff moved out of here, you can very clearly see like the lines of dust on the ground that fell there while there was tons of stuff in here. It's thick. Like even the bookshelf, Mira, has like a ton of dust on it. It's just like he collected all these things and didn't use them. That's a very keen observation you can make.
I mean, there were a lot
So-
less coffee tables, so I think maybe, okay, hear me out. Do you think maybe Artis was a hoarder and like got better and had to move a bunch of the remaining stuff
Well,
out of his place?
He collected relics and such, right? So that would take up a lot of space, but I guess
Yeah.
some of it may be just a hoarding thing.
I imagine most of his stuff most of the more important stuff would be like in his office, but like there was still a decent amount of stuff
Mm-hmm.
here before. Like this place, like this used to be like packed full of stuff from what I could see from the outside.
Or do you think some of the stuff that he had in here before was just stuff left over from Fadan and nothing really ever happened to it?
I mean, if I lost the love of my life, I bet I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
In that case,
No, let's go find. Oh.
I was gonna say, like, in that case, I'm. This means that he, maybe he's healing. That's good.
Yeah, I hope this trip is good for him.
Yeah.
I don't want Artist to die.
Again?
I think a lot of our
Yeah.
stuff has been about not wanting Artist to die because literally every time we don't watch that man's back.
I mean, I think he'll be okay.
I don't know how he survived for like 200 years without, and no offense to the man, he's a great mentor. I just don't
I think
understand
he just
how.
lived in his house for those 200 years. He never really left.
Like he just went
Yeah,
back and forth
good
between
point.
his office and here and yeah.
Yeah.
Are we the problem?
We did go into the hatch, so
Yeah.
I mean,
We did do a
you
lot
not
of
included,
things.
Sarantup.
I didn't even go to the hatch in the first place, but I know I've caused trouble. So like
Oh,
Poor dude. I hope this helps him. And
speaking about the hatch, I had a very bad nightmare this morning. I dreamt that all the orbs were on the hatch and the progenitor was standing there right in front of me, like basically just outside the hatch, and people slowly dying around us, and
oh
it was so painful.
shit, I'm sorry you had that dream.
Are you doing okay now?
Yeah, I'm doing good. As best as I can be. I just wanted to because I feel like I keep these things to myself often, but I just wanted to touch base with all of you that I'm doing okay and I'm handling things pretty good. But I just don't want to keep secrets that much anymore.
Thank you.
I know we got sidetracked by a lot of things, but I did mean what I said. If we can find something that can disconnect you from the progenitor.
No, I don't want to put this on anyone.
But I mean, we don't even know if there's a way. What if we're able to take it off of you and not put it on anybody else? What if we just I don't know. The orbs are the big thing, and we currently have currently 3 of them are together now, and one of them's off somewhere, so that at least takes care of a part of it. But if we ever run into him again, what if we pick it up by accident? What if that's when the progenitor goes into I don't know, a god mode or something like that, and makes you bring them all together? Maybe a good idea might be splitting up the orbs, doing something like that. I don't know. It's been stuck on my mind for a while, and I just feel like it's too dangerous to have them all together if we know that they're going to cause something when they all come together.
I suppose in the
No,
time
you're
before we actually have classes, we could do a little bit of research into the relationship between a warlock and their supposed patron. Integrity, you still have the book of warlocks, right? The list?
She has some loose
Yes.
pages. They're in her
I
bag.
have a couple of pages because
Oh yeah.
that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
Wizard. I think that we can do that.
I'd like to look at that because maybe there could be some hidden clue in there that might tell us how we can help you out with the whole evil, spooky entity issue.
When
Yeah.
Integrity was talking about the progenitor and all this dim, grim subject matter, it almost felt like the darkness inside the shed grew darker and darker and darker by the moment. Maybe that's just your brains playing tricks on you. But then in a moment, Windsor kind of chimes in. We can research it. We should deal with this evil thing. The light of the shed seems to bounce back a little bit.
A
Right?
convenient cloud passed over, blocked out the light. That's all.
Yeah, I just wanted to
Yeah.
get it out of my chest, and thank you, everyone. Your support has been wonderful. I just wanted to let you all know that I'm doing okay.
Thanks for talking to us about it. I know when the warlock stuff happened to you at first, you wanted to hide it, and just thank you for being open, and we're all here for you.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a part of me now, right? Just have
feel
to
that.
embrace it.
I mean, like, if there is a way, but like, obviously, if there is a way for us to help you to, undo it, then we're obviously going to try and find a way, because what's happening to you right now should not be something that anyone should have to deal with alone without a support system.
But have you seen the magic that came from my hands? Isn't that pretty cool?
I mean,
I
sure,
guess,
it's
but
cool,
my
but I
name-
don't know if it's worth, like, possibly losing your life
Like-
over.
Integrity, you're like an amazing sneaker, for instance. You terrified all of us, like, last night with no issue. And
well,
that
yeah,
didn't...
it's because you told Artis that I was hiding somewhere.
Because, like, okay, number one, I didn't want us to scare our mentor the second we show up and are like, hey, by the way, can we crash at your house? Thanks. Number two, that didn't come from the progenitor. That was, like, your own skills. You don't need to be a crazy, powerful magic user to be the best you can be. You know what I mean? Like...
That is quite true. I bet a lot of people would want to be with, not be with me, but be me once we get back to school.
Damn.
Are you talking about the whole fiasco with Joan at the dance? Because, like, everyone saw that.
Everyone saw that.
We're all pretty badass. Anyways, I want to look for more treasure.
I'm worried about how the way you worded that.
The looting mindset.
Integrity leaves the shed, so too can the rest of you if you would like, and follow her in her quest to find more treasure amongst Artis's things. You can go into the living room, or the house, the cottage, and pop the tops of some of those like crates and look through the relics and such trinkets, lovely trinkets in there. And after some time, Artis, of course, comes back. He has like 8 books with him. And that's where we'll end this episode of Trials and Trebuchets on a nice little bright point.
Cozy end of winter cottage
Yeah.
getaway.
Carla, can you give us an outro, please?
Hi, it's me, the Warlock, Integrity Adelberry, and I'm bringing you out of this episode. Don't forget to leave a rating on our iTunes or wherever you listen to this podcast. Or if you don't want to put yourself out there, you can also share us to your friends. Be like, hey friends, listen to this podcast. They're so great. Or be like, they suck, you need to listen to it.
No.
We also have an Instagram and Twitter at Trials and Trebs. Please give us a follow and also like our posts.
Damn.
You can get updates on what's the sizzling, what's happening on the episodes, teasers, and last but not the least, money, 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 money. I'm Integrity Adelberry and I love money. You can give us money through Patreon or through our merch
Yes.
account.
Where can you find that
Merch account again.
Trebmerch.com. Our merch
Trebmerch.com.
account.
No one else can have an account with that name. Trebmerch.com.
If they do, it just redirects to our shop. Joke's on you.
Trebmerch.com, where you can get t-shirts and stickers, and Patreon.com, where you can...
Basically, donate to us, and you can get
Yeah.
some extra goodies, such as DM notes, bloopers, and you might even be able to have a student NPC show up in the show as well.
Absolutely. There's also a Discord link in the description of this episode. Thanks, Ben and Carla, for the outro.
You're welcome.
Until next time, see you later, alligator. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Snap, snap, snap.